Hey everyone, I'm Ronit on the East Coast.
And I'm with Kate on the West Coast. And we
And
are.
we
Oh, we're
are,
supposed to be listening. We are.
sorry, hopelessly.
Hopelessly. What did I do?
Okay, you
Unedited.
start. On it.
Okay.
Okay, we're good. So last time we talked about, what did we talk about last time? Oh, we
I don't even know.
talked
Did we have
about,
comments?
yeah,
We talked
they
about
loved
you
your,
liking bum. Or no, knowing what bum smells
no,
like,
something like,
tastes like.
yeah, yeah. But
Durian.
I have
We talked about
comments.
durian.
People like your NASA shirt.
Oh, they did? Well, hopefully they like
Yeah.
my tomboy today. Tomboy.
Yeah, I called you tomboy before we started. I think you have the coolest shirts. That's right. Yeah, flex those muscles, man, those boxing muscles. But anyway, so today, we're gonna talk a little bit about all these things that are happening in the internet that it seems a good idea or seems true, but it's not true. Not completely true. I mean, some truth, but not completely true. So we just wanted to give a couple of examples so that our listeners out there will be a little bit more careful when they hear things on the internet. What you say?
I say that we can wish for that to be true, but it's there's still some people who are going to
Yeah.
believe it. So, but let's give this a go. I want to talk about why people do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a
So,
couple
do
of
you have one?
ridiculous. I
Yeah. Why
have
don't you?
two
You have the
ridiculous
ridiculous
examples.
ones, and then I got some cool ones.
Yeah, you got cool ones and reasonable, logical ones, and of course I have ridiculous ones.
No, you have the funny ones. It's amazing.
No. Actually, this is pretty scary. Have you ever heard of this guy, Bryan Johnson?
I mean, that's
Yes?
such a
No?
common name. It's like
I
John Smith. Okay, so who is Bryan Johnson?
All right. So he's an entrepreneur, actually, and he used to own a company called Braintree.
Okay.
Ring a bell now? No? Still no? Okay.
Not yet. I don't have very many bells
So,
ringing in my brain anymore.
ding, ding, ding. He, his company in 2012 bought Venmo. And then in 2013, PayPal turned around and bought it for $800 million, and he walked away with $300 million. So ring a bell of this guy?
I mean, I know the PayPal Venmo thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But the first time I came across this person was I was just kind of scrolling Netflix trying to find something to watch. And all of a sudden I saw this documentary about this guy wants to live for 200 years. So I watched a little bit.
Live forever. Okay.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know why you want to do that, but fine. So he spent $2 million a year to do all kinds of stuff to try to do that. And he even launched a company now called Project Blueprint to help people with the aging thing. So in the documentary, I think he changed his routine now. Okay, so I'll give you the claim. So he claims with some scientific backing that he through DNA testing. So his aging process is 31 to 36% slower than normal people. Okay, so he's 49. He's 10 years younger than me. I'll be 59 next month, in a month and a little bit.
In September.
So he's 10 years younger than me. And so think about it. He's slowing down 31 to 36%. I don't know how he's going to get to 200 still with that rate of all the stuff that he's doing. Now his skin looks like it's 37 to 42, which I don't think is a significant improvement because he's already 49 and 42 is just 7 years if you get to the top end of it, right? But it's through like laser resurfacing and all that. Those are painful. all these stuff you do that only got you whatever 7 years. And then, but his lungs, his cardiovascular system, it's equivalent to somebody that is in their 20s, 18 to 20. So that's pretty good. Like cholesterol and all that, blood sugar, it's also late teens. Good for him. But guess what he does? He said in the documentary, he takes
Am I guessing?
100. What?
Am I guessing, or are you going to tell me? You
Why
said
don't you
guess
guess
what he does. I can guess.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and guess?
So you said he takes 100. So he probably takes 100 squats per day. Oh, he does. No.
He exercises.
He exercises. He takes 700 pills a day.
100
He
pills.
takes 100 pills?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. He takes a whipping from his wife every morning. So then it makes his bum really yet. Pink and pretty. Oh, he's not married.
Well, he has 3 kids, but he and his wife were divorced.
Okay.
So
he takes everything for granted. I don't know.
So the 100 pills is during the documentary when I watched. He takes 100 pills a day, and he does oxygen therapy, and he put this laser cap on for scalp conditioning, so he won't lose his hair, and combating gray hair, and pelvic floor exercise stimulator. And I don't even know what that is.
A biohacker.
And so he uses like brain tracking helmet as well. So first of all, when you take 100 freaking pills, so it's like a tonic of vitamins, antioxidants, what have you. But now he said, I read that right now he improved it a little bit. He converts some of them into powder so that he drinks his powder drink. I am pretty sure it tastes disgusting. And it's only plant-based diet and all that crazy stuff, right? No, that is not crazy, but like he did everything. And then now he only takes 20 to 30 pills a day. But here's the thing though, when you take so many stuff, there's no freaking idea of if it's which one is effective, which one is just like crap.
Is that the guy?
Yeah, that's the guy. But
what do you think the incurable illness is?
I don't think he looks good at all, honestly. So can I share my screen?
Yeah.
I'll show you something. Look at that. Like he does all these testing. That's what he looks like. And then he did something really creepy, I think. So at one point he said he won't do it again because he said he couldn't, the doctors didn't think that it gives any benefit. Duh. So that's his son. There.
His son looks young.
His son, yeah, I think he's like probably in his 20s. He took his son's
plasma.
Plasma. Thank you. But it's plasma that he would do plasma transfusion, taking his son's, and I thought that's creepy. That's creepy.
I thought you meant it was bone
marrow,
bone marrow transplant. But you mean plasma,
no,
which is
plasma.
Blood.
Yeah. But that's creepy, right? I mean,
that's like what vampires do, right? To stay young, they just kind of drink other people, especially when they're super young, their blood. And but
why would you even entertain that idea, though? Why would you even entertain that idea? It's disgusting.
People do this when they have an accident, a car crash or whatever, and they something that requires a blood transfusion, so they get somebody else's blood.
But this is just it's strategic because it's his son's, right? You would think that, genetic makeup and all that, right? But this is crazy. So now he looks like that, doing all these. I'm sorry. I think he looked like a plastic doll. Like it's the face doesn't have life to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Does it make
no,
sense?
totally. Yeah.
You know? And I thought, why do you want to live that long looking like that? And you know what the
I
most
I think
ridiculous?
I think biohacking is kind of cool to try and do, like we've been doing gene therapy for a long time, where
Yeah.
people have been changing the genes of what we eat. That's part of what people
Yeah.
say they shouldn't eat. But I think it's kind of cool. Like if you can change your genes to never have cancer or something like this, you can eradicate stuff. I think that's really cool. I also personally think that if if you want to look different and you want to go through this kind of stuff, you do it. Like why not? People, color
Yeah.
their hair, they go to the tanning salon, they change their teeth, all of
So
this to look the way they want to look. So
well
I think it's a
that's
little
a
ridiculous,
but he's a little
maybe,
different though.
where he's
Like
at. Yeah.
yeah, because he's doing all these things that just throw at himself
Yeah.
and you know
I know what you're saying.
and but just imagine. So if I say, oh, I really want to go to Hawaii tomorrow for me, and I found a ticket, good price, I would buy the ticket, fly to Hawaii, because Hawaii is warm, probably pack a backpack, a big travel backpack, and I go. For him, he would have to pack his helmet for his hair. He would have to pack the bio helmet and all these powder and stuff, all the pills, just that. It's a suitcase. Like,
Don't
why
you
do you
pack
want
like
to?
2 suitcases, one whole bag of like cosmetic stuff you put on your face and your body?
Not short trip. And the thing is that we talked about in one of the episodes though.
Yeah, we
Sometimes I
did.
forget,
That's why I
you
remember
know?
that.
Yeah, sometimes I forget. And I will go to a drugstore and just get drugstore, whatever, tie me over. And I don't lose sleep over it, right? But for him, it's like when you're so depending on this, I just think, okay, you live 200 years, but you're kind of trapped, you know?
It's if I were to live 200 years, I wouldn't really think about my physical aspects, like the way I look outwardly.
Mm-hmm.
But I would think that
Yeah,
inwardly, it would be very hard on my organs. Like your
right.
brain would have, because your brain stops, growing cells and whatnot. Like it's made out of mostly cholesterol anyway. But I think I think the insides of you would be getting tired and running out of energy. So like the way you look on the outside, your skin, all this, okay, that's nice. You can, when he's going to get to be 120 years old and he looks like he's 90, he's still not going to score with the girls, unless they're about that age. You know what I'm saying? So
Like everything
like,
has a shelf life, right?
yeah. So I don't know what you can get just from the skin. You have to do all the insides as well.
Right.
Like you
Well,
have to replace your heart with an artificial heart. You have to replace, your everything. Just,
I
keep
think
getting organs donated from people that are a lot younger than you and keep
mhm.
changing that. But even your veins, they would eventually collapse.
I think that's what he was trying to do, right?
Your
Like
eyes.
get taking all the vitamin is supposed to support the internal organs so that it doesn't fail as quickly. But as you said, it will eventually if it's 200 years, right?
But
And it's a long
even if
time.
it's like 80 years
Oh
old,
my
you're
God.
starting to really like, you
Yeah,
have a lot of organs that aren't working the same way. Your joints are not working the
correct.
same way.
Yeah.
I don't,
I mean, there's no
I don't
way.
know.
Now, get this. So, it, he had just this year announced that he was diagnosed with um let me see, make sure I say it right, atrophic gastritis.
So it's
So
something to do with his stomach
it's an autoimmune disease. So apparently he's had it for
that
11 years.
kills
And
his
what
stomach.
so I googled it because I read the Wikipedia and I thought, okay, I gotta find a layman's term. So I googled, say, hey, can you tell me the layman's term? Basically, what it does is it's a long-term irritation that harms the soft inner lining of your stomach. So it
So
prevent
it
the helpful.
atrophies. your stomach.
Yeah, so it prevent the healthy
That's all the shit
cells
he's eating.
to produce like the stomach acid. Oh, I can't speak, sorry. Stomach acid and protein, they would just go away. And so he would have problem digesting B12. And there was one thing that I talked about, and I'm like, you know how my mind always goes into the toilet, right? In many different ways. Um, so one of the symptoms is delayed emptying your bowel. And I'm like, oh my God, the delay is by 80%. And I thought, you gotta not feel good. So he said that he's been having it for 11 years and he started this regimen about 5 years ago. Project Blueprint started about 5 years ago. And I think that all these stuff that he does probably accelerated or trigger. Autoimmune could be dormant, but I think he triggered it with all the stuff. But the funny thing is that he's got a lot of investors, including Kim Kardashian. So there you go.
I mean,
So
what to these people, what is it to throw $1 million at a problem? It's not really,
no,
like just in case they find something that's cool,
yeah. Well,
I
actually,
I think
you
those people
can
don't care.
you can pay $333 a month to get the same tonic that he's taking. And I thought, yeah, no, thank you.
You're not even going to try it?
No, no. I tried a detox before I got married. And 15 years ago, that detox thing was really a big thing. I think Gwyneth Paltrow and all these guys, they do detox. And I tried to do a detox, and I bought this detox kit. I'm supposed to be on this thing for 10 days. It was this liquid thing,
Sludge.
drinks. Yeah, and oh my gosh, I didn't feel good after 5 days. And I'm like, yeah, forget it. I'm not detoxing. I'm going to get married dirty. That's it.
He
So,
took you anyway.
yeah.
But one
I
thing
know.
that this makes me think about. So yesterday we were walking around in some park right next to where we are, and we saw a bunch of birds, and a lot of them were so beautiful. And I was like, it's so wild that in nature, the males have to be, they're the pretty birds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're the pretty good looking. So they
The
do their
cardinal.
little dance, they do all their thing.
Right.
But with humans, it's not like that at all. It's the females that have to like show how pretty they are and keep, doing their thing and dress in a certain way. And it just seems really, really odd to me that in nature it's the other way around. And we have all our guys not making themselves pretty, not, they don't pick up their clothes, they don't cut their nails, they have gross toenails, and they, shit like that. And they have all that hair on them.
So if you think about it,
I do.
like lions, let's say, just take lions for instance, the lioness. So I think a male lion is very powerful. I think one-on-one male and female
it's pretty,
lion, the
right?
female
It's got the nice big hair.
mane.
It's like,
yeah, I know, right?
Sexy lion.
But the lioness,
but look at your man. He doesn't have a mane.
No, I do. I think the other day someone said, yeah, you be careful, don't spend all his money or something. And I said, yeah, I don't need his money. I'm already rich. I only want his good looks and hot body.
That's all you want.
So anyway,
not even his brains.
Yeah. So but the lioness, they stick together. I've seen like nature shows. If the male lion did something wrong, these like group of lioness just goes like back off, and then he's like, oh, And I think maybe we don't stick together often enough. I mean, of course we'll be overpowered by one man, but if we have like 10 of them at the same time, like this is what I don't understand. When there's a group of female got attacked by one male, I was like, what are you doing? Just sit on him. All you need to do is just sit on him.
Yeah, you were telling me you were trying to do that to your husband earlier, and he didn't want you to. So he knows if somebody's going to sit on you. Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
So anyway.
Well, that's
Okay,
an
so
exciting
this is
story. What do you think of biohacking anyway? You think it's kind of cool, don't you?
I
Or
yeah,
not?
I think if it's done in a scientific way, let's say, they splice stuff and, they're testing on if you are predisposed to certain things. So there are measure that you could do to prevent it, or
Yeah,
even, I think there's like, they could they could turn off certain genes in an embryo or baby. I read something like that.
yeah, and they're
Turn off
trying to
certain,
do stuff like that.
yeah. So I
I
think
mean,
that's fine.
and for women, like we have hysterectomies, so we don't have like
Mm-hmm.
uterine cancer. We have mastectomies,
Yeah.
so we don't have breast cancer. I
Yeah.
guess guys have mastectomies too.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of things we can do to not.
Right.
So we are sort of
Right.
biohacking with surgery and with
Yeah.
other ways.
But
So
I don't think this guy is
I'm
biohacking
okay
though,
with it, I think.
really. I don't think this guy is really biohacking to me. I mean, you go and get laser resurfacing, get your skin
Yeah, but he's
younger.
also getting like 100 pills. He's doing the plasma with his son, like that's biohacking to me.
But with the pills, I don't know about plasma, but do you think the pill will actually change your genetic makeup that can
Not
really
necessarily
biohack? I'm not sure.
your genes, but they can certainly affect, how you feel. So you take an iron pill, you have more iron in your body. So like how does it affect how your body reacts? I think that's kind of cool too,
Yeah,
to
but the
do that.
problem is that I don't think he really, when you take 100 things, it was like, I'm just thinking about Chinese herbal medicine. So there's this,
Yeah.
I don't know, a long time ago, there's this herb called ma huang. It's been used for boosting people's heart health. So I think it has, I don't know what it actually does, but when Chinese herbal doctor prescribe ma huang, usually they prescribe something with it because there needs to be a balance. Ma huang itself, it could be too strong for some people. They will add other herbs to lessen the effect or give support to other places so the person take it actually just have the benefit rather than, having problems with them. So I can't remember how long ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago, there were kids, athletes, because it's something, it's almost like doping. It makes your heart have bigger capacity or something. Some athlete kids, high school, took ma huang pills you get from whatever vitamin stores, and they died. They had heart attacks. And at first I was like, what? You didn't take pills? And they were like pure ma huang. And the first thing I was like, well, Chinese don't really prescribe and use ma huang that way. You don't just shove it in your mouth and call it good. So like for what he does, taking 100 pills, there, how does he know one thing he takes is not affecting another one? And, you know,
I mean, that's the whole situation about taking your measurements every day and whatnot. Like,
hmm
um, but
well, he
yeah,
apparently does, but I mean, I looked at him. I just see a scary person for some reason.
no,
But
hey,
anyway.
to each his own. But also, like, I understand your reaction. It's a little scary and spooky to see somebody invest so much time and effort to look the way he does, and it's a little pasty and white and weird, and
hmm Anyway. Well,
yeah,
you have some
plastic
cool
surgery
stuff.
will do that too.
Yeah. You have some
Yeah,
cool stuff
people
though.
just believe, I kind of went off on the tangent of like, why do people uh, believe what they see on the internet? Because I think
hmm
that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it, and I think our brains, they love anything that's super simple. So like you can get people to believe something because it's simple, and it makes sense when it's
Hmm.
simple. People can relate to these things. And then the more you repeat it, the more it's true. That's why, to your mind.
Yeah.
And that's why you see commercials and they just repeat
Yeah.
them, repeat them, repeat them all over
hmm
the place. Um, and then you have
Totally
people like
works
this
too.
one guy, or, like some other person we know with orange hair. they're very confident in what they're saying, and so when they say something, people believe it just because they present as very confident.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I think everybody, every once in a while, you're going to get something in your inbox, or somebody's going to say something, and you're going to believe it just because you're ready, you're primed. All of these things are true, or you're tired and you're not triple checking. So I think on the internet you can find a whole bunch of shit that is completely not true, but there are other things that are really true, like sharks are older than trees. You have some sharks that live longer. Bananas are berries, but strawberries are not berries. Like things like that you can find on the internet. You can also find things that like honey. You can eat honey. You can find honey that's 2,000 years old and eat it. It doesn't spoil. Honey doesn't spoil. And that's a very interesting thing. I think we should use more honey.
Maybe he just needs to drink honey rather than taking 100 pills. Just drink honey
Maybe.
every day.
But not all
Preserve his
honey is
inside.
created equal. When you have allergies, like say where you live in the northwest, northeast, you need to eat honey that's from
Local
your
honey.
region. Yeah, local
Yeah,
honey.
local honey. Yeah.
But I wanted to pick some, you said my NASA shirt was really cool. So I wanted to talk about some space stuff.
I'm ready, go.
Things that are real but don't sound real. So like the days on Venus, one day on Venus is longer than 1 year on Venus.
Wait, what? Wait, one day because
one day on Venus is longer than 1 year on Venus.
So it took longer for Venus to spun than going around the sun. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yay!
But people don't know that. They go like, what the fuck? That can't be real. But it totally is real. So I don't even know how birthdays work on Venus. It's like, if you're born on Venus and you have a birthday, and it takes 243 days on Venus to 243 days for Venus to have a day.
Yeah.
And it takes 225 days on Venus to have a year. So how would you calculate somebody's birthday who was born on Venus? Would you calculate it with every year?
That's why nobody lives there.
In the number of years? That was a little.
That's why nobody lives there.
And I think parts of it is because Venus spins backwards. So all the planets, they have the same direction around the sun, right? We all orbit in the same direction.
Yeah.
But Venus, it doesn't continue to spin the same way. It spins the other way on its own. So it goes on the orbit the same way all the other planets, but it spins backwards for some reason. So
it's like the rebel planet.
Yeah. The Earth, the Earth is evil twin or something like that. There's a name like that, something about twin. Venus is the twin.
Because we're kind of like a mirror with Venus.
Yeah. But we're
maybe
second and third.
Well, then maybe there might be people there hiding.
Maybe.
They say aliens would reveal themselves in 2027. Maybe they're all coming from Venus.
Maybe. There's another thing that I recently heard about, and I want to think about it. So,
from the internet, or
from the internet. Okay. I want to think about it, and I want to do more research that has to do with the fact that most solar systems are out there. They don't have just one sun; they have two suns. And our solar system should have two suns as well, but we don't know it. So we spin around the same orbit. Our sun
Yeah.
spins around the same orbit as this other sun. And every 33,000 years, they come close enough to one another in their orbit that, there's our sun with its planets, and there's the
That we
other
can
sun
see
with
it.
the other planets. And, we have like around our sun, we have some asteroid belts
Yeah.
that spin. So, like, there's 2 asteroid belts. There's one, I think, after Mars, and then one with a bumfuck out there. And and there's a theory that those 2 suns with their own planets, our sun with our own planet and the other sun with their own planet, when they get close every 3,000 years or so, our planets sometimes collide and they explode, and then that becomes an asteroid belt.
Wait,
So I want to know more about this because I think it's
isn't
really
that
cool.
but isn't that 2 solar system then? Because that one
Yeah,
has its own
there's 2
planet
solar systems, and when there's 2 solar systems, they orbit around the same thing. So,
around each other.
well, no,
No?
they are stars, just like
Oh,
Venus and Earth are stars that
I
orbit. So, like,
misunderstood. Yeah.
yeah, so you have all these planets in our system that have moons, right? So
Mm.
we have our own moon. There's other planets with moons, and quite a lot of them, and so we have the same. Think about Earth having its moon, and the moon having its own little moons, and then but
So
on the scale of
what you're saying is if there's one solar system, wherever it is, there should be
normally
another
there are
one
2
close
suns.
by.
Normally
There
there are
should be one
two
close by. So
two
their
suns.
solar systems comes in like a twin. If
Yeah,
there's one
typically that's
here,
what happens.
oh, we just never see the twin.
We don't, because it's been 33,000
Yeah.
years. But on Earth, there's a cloud of ash. There's a ring of ash. So if you dig far
Mm.
enough, there's this ring of ash called the black ash layer that has come
Mm-hmm.
on Earth about 33,000 years ago. No, it's
Okay.
20,000 years ago. I think we're at 20,000 years ago or something. We are
So
about
we're
at 11,000. So we haven't seen this planet, this other sun, because we are now like going away from each other because we're spinning. We have
right.
an elliptical thing. So
Yeah.
at some point, our sun comes really close to the other sun, and we continue.
Right.
And one of them, maybe we have a different, ellipsis or whatever.
Huh.
I can't really show it like that, but so I want to know a little bit more about this. So I would be very receptive to this actually being true, personally.
Yeah. That
But
makes
is it
sense. I
true?
mean,
I don't know.
we won't see the end of that. That would
We'll
probably
never see
be
the end of that. Look, so like in the lifetime of a planet, right? So planets get created because you have this giant cloud of hydrogen, and then there's
Mhm.
gravity that pulls the hydrogen together. So like you get a planet that gets
like
created. And so like
yeah.
our once it has been created, the hydrogen fusion begins to happen. So it fuses and turns into helium, and our sun is in that part. Our
Mm.
sun is currently doing. It's not the life of a planet; it's the life of a star. But our sun is currently in the part where it's fusing, and anytime the life of a star is about fusion. It's things that fuse and fuse and fuse and fuse, and it becomes either smaller or it becomes really, really big, like a supernova. I guess everything
Yeah.
turns into a supernova, but
Right.
so gravity keeps the sun hydrogen. There's fuel here. It keeps the sun's hydrogen together into this sun star that we know, and then when we run out of it, we turn into those red giants. So that's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
happens. We can see the red giants in the sky.
Yeah.
And then we have small stars and big stars that can turn into different things. So they can turn into white dwarfs, and there's no explosion. So the star just
Mm-hmm.
kind of collapses on its own, turns into a neutron star. And then you have the other stars
The
that turn
black
into
hole?
these massive supernovas.
The black hole?
And then you have potentially a black hole. So you can have a
Mm-hmm.
supernova, which is like, boom, and we can
Just
see it.
blow
We
up
can
everything.
see
Yeah.
the supernova. We can see neutron stars, and neutron stars we can't see them. They're about, the biggest ones are about 20 miles across, right? So it started with this
Yeah.
massive star, this ball of hydrogen that kept fusing because of gravity. And it turns into something that's 20 miles across. It's not very big, right? Like, you can think the distance from your home to 20 miles away is really pretty small. And
In the
so,
grand scheme of things, yeah.
yeah, but this thing is fucking heavy, right? Once it turns into iron does not create energy. It actually consumes. Turning something into iron consumes a lot of
Sure.
energy, and then it makes everything
Right.
super dense. And so
Yeah.
you'd have like a teaspoon of this would be heavier than Earth,
Mm-hmm.
maybe not heavier than Earth, but super heavy, right? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, totally.
And then you can have some shit turning into black holes. So, like, at some point, neutron stars, they formed because they just collapse into this thing, and then they get done. There's no more collapsing. So we know there are neutron stars because of what they do, the ripple effects around it. Or they can continue collapsing beyond this, and it turns into a black hole. And
Sucks everything in.
yeah, but we don't know what happens after the black hole. But there are some stars out there. We have never seen the end of a star.
Yeah.
No one knows
Even
what
it happened is too far away. Yeah.
But no, it has never happened. It's not old. The universe is not old enough for us to know what happens.
It's so weird.
Isn't it, like, fantastic?
Yeah, it's like fantastically weird. Something that is so big that you can't even comprehend.
Yeah.
Is that how small we are?
Well, so I was telling my wife this story this morning. You know Grace Hopper. You want to talk about size? You know Grace Hopper, like the Hopper Women's Conference that happened.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so she was an admiral in the Navy, and she was just fucking smart. She tried to explain to people how fast things traveled. So, like electricity, how fast did it go? Or she tried to explain how communication happened and how fast does it really go. So what she had done by people around her is she had printed the distance light travels in 1 nanosecond.
Okay.
And a nanosecond is 1 billionth of a second. So, we calculate the speed of light in light years, light months, light weeks, light days, like how fast does light travel in an increment of time that we understand?
Correct.
So we say light year is in 1 year, how fast does light travel? Well, she wanted to go the other way and show, because, we can't show a light year. People don't know what that means. The distance is so huge. So she went down to a nanosecond, which is 1 billionth of a second. It's not even a millionth. It's a millionth. It's a billion. It's really, really small. And so she printed the distance to show on paper the distance of a nanosecond for light travels in a nanosecond. It's about this big, about 12 inches. It's about a foot.
But that's like a billion of a second.
Yeah. And so she was trying to explain to people, if you want this to be a millionth of a second, so like she's bringing like 1,000 feet almost of wire. She had wire printed for people. She was handing it. So they were trying to understand it's not fast enough. And she's like, fuck, this is fast.
Yeah.
This is
crazy.
This is how much in a nanosecond. So you can't even fathom one whole entire second from a billion second from something that's like this. You have to do this 1 billion times. So anyway, I am receptive to shit like this. I could read stuff like this on the internet.
I think those are good though. You gain some, knowledge.
I touched the wrong button.
Some people think this is useless, but it does make amazing conversation piece.
Well, I think
and something that you know, and it's just kind of understand your surrounding almost,
Yeah. So when you think
That's
about
great.
like how far is the sun, and you think in light years, and you have a thing that you can look at, you go like, this is 12 inches.
A billion times of this.
This is 12. Can you see it in the right direction?
Yeah, I can see it.
This is 12 inches. And so it travels a billion times of this for 1 second.
That's like freaking far. That's so far away.
Yeah. And when you hear politicians who are trying to say, like, we shouldn't think about this stuff, we should defund NASA, we should defund all of these things. To me, that makes no sense at all. I think it's crazy. So, the internet is full of some shit, but it's also full of really interesting facts.
Correct.
But if you start, does it matter how fast the speed of light and all this stuff? Like, most people, they don't want to think about it because your brain goes like, no one can imagine the size of the universe. Like, our brain cannot fathom that.
I can't. Your brain is better than
Nobody
mine.
can.
But
nobody can. People who have been thinking about this all their life, they can't think of how big the universe is.
Yeah, definitely.
They can't even think about.
This is so cool.
I know.
It's cool. It's like amazing cool.
That's the kind of shit I think
But I'm going to see you soon. You can tell me more cool stuff in person. Because I think it gets into a larger conversation and we have limited time, but I want to know more.
She's
or I
kicking
can
me
just
out.
search on the internet. I am not kicking you out. We just have limited time. I think we should, you know what, the next episode. So I think we split in two, and then you can do the rapid fire after, and next episode would be like just right at probably 30 minutes. What do you think?
Perfect.
Okay. Well, with that said, I'm Ronit on the East Coast.
I'm sorry for spending all the time on this. And I'm on the West Coast.
And we are hopelessly unedited.
Oh my God.
Oh. Anyway. Yes. Okay. So next week we'll continue.
And I'll be seeing you.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.